Hello and welcome to This Week Those Books. I'm Rashmi Roshanlal. Off the back of key meetings between African leaders and the Western world, this week those books examined how the West views Africa. Does it even see it properly? As everyone knows by now, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa visited Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. There, South Africa's president was subjected to false accusations and a fake video purporting to show white genocide in his country, to use Trump's words. The second key meeting was in Brussels between foreign ministers of the European Union and the African Union. No fireworks there. But is there much understanding of Africa in Europe and by Europe? Let's get to the books. Our first read is The Racial Dynamics of Reporting Africa by Dr. Omega Douglas. The book, published May 21st, examines the practices of mainstream Western news media. Omega wrote a brief piece for This Week Those Books. She says that Western bias is a persistent issue in global journalistic practice, as well as journalism studies which analyze that practice. Omega points to recent research by an African news agency, Bird. It found that Africa is framed via 5 dominant themes: poverty, corruption, conflict, disease, and poor leadership. These stereotypes are repeated endlessly. She also mentions so-called white savior journalism, which remains an issue in Western coverage of humanitarian news on the global South. Our second book is Dream Count by the Nigerian-American writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Let me start with the most startling sentiment in this new novel. They think black people do not dream. A Nigerian man says this to comfort Chia, his girlfriend. She just had an unsatisfactory conversation with a literary editor. Chia is a Nigerian travel writer who lives in America, and she wants to write an ordinary travel book, something white women are able to do very easily. But for Chia, the editor suggests she write about the struggles in the Congo or Sudan. For publishers and editors in the West, Chia thinks, Africa is only about struggles. Her boyfriend agrees. They don't think we are able to dream, he says. Chia's story is just one element in this novel, which is basically about 4 women's search for fulfillment. The backstory is how their blackness and Africanness affects the way the world sees them. That's it for this week. Before I go, a reminder: This Week Those Books was created to provide context to the news by linking the big international story to the world of books. We now have nearly 11,000 followers in 122 countries on the Substack app. If you find This Week Those Books useful, thoughtful, and a conversation starter, please help sustain us by signing up. You could even become a paying subscriber, which would be a great boost to the morale. Thanks for listening. Until the next time, bye-bye.